Okay, let's go again. Hopefully a longer game than the previous one. While we're waiting, CyberEck. Sounds like something out of Doctor Who. Cyborg-Ek. Cybermen. Okay. Who's this guy then? Lukac Cybrowski. Elo 2503. Now better. Okay. I think Nmd7 is good fun. Oh man. Why do people play like this? I'm going to try a hedgehog, try and be a bit provocative. A prickly hedgehog, I hope. Okay, I'll take care. I've got knight f4, knight b4, queen c7, castle queenside. Doesn't look too bad. Bishop's hemmed in by its own pawn. I'll protect the bishop as c4 might be coming here. Okay, if I castle queenside, that would be safer, probably. Pointing at h7, no defender on h7. Play f5, try and get a g file if he gives me that. So f5 takes, try and get a g file. I think I'll wait. I'm not going to give a gaping hole on b5 like the other day. That was ridiculous. I'll wait for a5 to play b5. He's not really going to give me a g file. He is. Why? Why do people do that? It's a g file straight to his king here. It's like giving me a road straight to his king. But I have to prove that road's useful, I guess. I mean, rook g8, knight f4. Doesn't seem even it's difficult to prove at the moment. If I play e5, I'm blunting that bishop anyway. I'm giving a knight to f4 possibility. So rook g8, knight f4. I mean, that's the only problem. Maybe was he tempted with the e6 pawn? I mean, it's not that weak, is it? But I had that other game. I think it was just yesterday, wasn't it? With a huge b5 weakness, and the whole thing collapsed. Here, this is stronger, and there's no b5 weakness. But he could still be targeting e5. Okay, for some sort of sacrifice. But already, you know, rook g2 is implied. Knight f4 is implied. Knight f4 might ask actually for knight e5. Got to be careful. Knight f4, how knight e5, rook g2. I think it's going to be too dangerous for the white king there. I think like h5 or rook g4. Just knight f4. Right, decisions. I could just double and play for e4 and rook g3, I think. Mind you, if I put it on g7, it is a target for some sort of sack on e5. This e5 is a bit loose. It's not so loose here. I can play knight f4. He's got bishop e4. If I play rook g4, he's got something like 95. If I play rook g7, there's 95 potentially. Right. So I can't do anything then. I've ruled out everything. Play h5 as a last resort. It does support rook g4 and double link. Actually, that's a bonus. Okay, h5, not necessarily for h4, but just support rook g4 without the rook being so loose. But then there is knight e5 as a possibility coming up. Oh, he's letting me use this as a battering ram then, and he's taking his pressure off e5. So I'm going to soften that sandcastle. If you remember, there was a video on the channel, Polgar against Morozevich Black, softening the sandcastle thing. Right, so rook g4. No, rook g4 just loses a rook. Bit of a technical problem with that. Knight f4, on the other hand, might be quite interesting. Or rook h8. Is there anything wrong with rook h8? Or knight f4? I think knight f4 could be annoying now. I'll play knight f4. If he exchanges off... Have I got check and knight g5? Or bishop u4 first? Okay, he's inviting multiple checks. Okay, I can take this and play king b8, I think. That was knight e5 after, almost. Probably. Well, I've got to do something. So knight e5 is dangerous now. Alright, I'll move this king away from that other danger. So I'm straight into this firing line again. It's got the same game pattern, remarkably, as this game the other day where e5 was such a liability. What about rook g6? Let's play rook d7 now at some point. Try and double and play. I'm just a sitting target here, aren't I? My queen is not in the attack here. What about just queen c6? That would have been a useful pin. And now that possibility is gone. What about check and then knight g5? It's queen d5. Oh, I can play the check and knight g5. I want to get on that diagonal of my queen. He plays queen d5. Then what do I do? Knight f8. He's going straight into a pin. That's the thing. Right, so knight f8. And now he's got knight e5, but now the rook's on this as well. Knight e5. Isn't there rook d6 there? Hang on, what's going on here? He's loosening d6. Oh, he's got queen a8. Cheapo. Nasty. Ah. Right, now don't tell me by bypassing the cheapo I might be nearly winning. Well, I hope so anyway. His queen's not budging off that diagonal. I can't play rook d6, although queen takes d6 is looking possible, or even bishop takes d6. He's running out of time here. Check. Okay. I think I've got to take the rook to keep a8 under control. If I take the rook, king b8, queen a8. It's the last roll of the dice. Got to keep a8 under control. Right, I think I've got to take here. He's forfeited on time. That was an improvement on a similar game yesterday where I didn't weaken b5 and e5 wasn't crumbling to bits so rapidly, although it did look very vulnerable. So yeah, if castle queenside, I think, and someone throws a4 at you, there might be a temptation to play a5 to keep the lines closed, but this b5 is just going to be terrible later, potentially. Sorry, just to clarify that a bit, what I mean is, if they do play a5, so say a5 was played here, you just played b5. I don't know, like c4 though, it's still a bit dangerous on the queen side. It really depends on the exact position, actually, because this is looking unpleasant, really unpleasant as well. So maybe a5, maybe who knows? It's dangerous. It's double-edged. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.